The art of giving and receiving, part two. The law of giving and receiving, part two. Yes, this is another portion of the spiritual law of money that I was talking about, the spiritual law of wealth that we talked about yesterday, which is the art. And there is an art to giving and receiving. And so the art of giving and receiving is very important if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be wealthy on the inside as well as the outside. So I'm here. It's funny because a couple weeks ago I posted and said something like, I posted and said something along the lines that I have to force myself to sleep, but I get plenty of rest. And I said I was going to address it in one of my Facebook lives, and I forgot to, but it comes up tonight. It's very apropos that I can, put it in here tonight. So the thing is this, yes, I have to force myself to sleep sometimes, a lot of times, but I get plenty of rest. The reason I have to force myself to sleep is because I told you I do what I love. I love what I do. If you don't know, my name is Victoria Green Brackens. I am a professional stock options trader, as well as a success and achievement trainer, a 36-year-old retired high school teacher. And being that I am a teacher, and that's what I do, I teach from a stage now instead of a public classroom setting, but I do this type of thing from a stage, what I do here with you. And so God is always giving me things. I'm always learning things. My mind is always in cognition, coming up with different things. And many times it happens when I'm trying to go to sleep and I have to force myself to get some sleep because I'm so full of ideas. I'm so full of getting things together to put out there for you all. And that's why I have to force myself to go to sleep sometimes. Sometimes I cannot get any rest because I have so much going on. God has given me so much. But I do get plenty of rest. When I say I get plenty of rest, because I have the time and money freedom that I have from trading stock options, as well as traveling and speaking and doing that kind of stuff to earn my living. I also have time freedom to go and get massages and get pedicures and, go and work at the gym and work off some steam, as well as stay fit and get healthy, or maintain health and fitness. And so I get plenty of rest. I travel a lot. I travel not just for business, but I travel a lot for pleasure. I go on trips with my family. I go on trips by myself, just to unwind and refresh and get, recharge so that I can add more value to the world. So I get plenty of rest, but I have to force myself to sleep because many times, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are a business owner, if you're a writer of any type, whether you write curriculum for the programs that you deliver, or whether you are a writer that's what you do as an author, whatever you are, if you're a leader, a minister, that a lot of times when it's time to go to bed, when you're trying to get some shut-eye, when you're trying to get some shut-eye, then of course a lot of stuff is pouring into you. And so I do have to force myself to sleep. And how this is very appropriate for this part two of this session is because last night all this stuff was still coming about the broadcast, as a continuation of the broadcast from last night, the part one of the law and the art of giving and receiving. And so I said, I got to do a part two, and I got to do it soon, because if not, my cup runneth over. Actually, it'll keep going. And so that's right. Right now, I know that people are doing, their Friday evening wind down and getting ready, because they work 9 to 5s and things, getting ready to relax or in relax mode. So it's fine. Hopefully people will go back and watch this later. If not, jump on in, share it, like it, let me know that you're out there. But part two, the art of giving and receiving. Like I said last night, even though the scripture says that it's more blessed to give than to receive, it never said that it was unblessed to receive. And you have to know how to do both if you want to be out there and be in a wealthy place on the inside as well as out, and have enough to overflow so that you can bless others with your time as well as your money. And so one thing is, I want to give a shout out to my church. I attend Victory Tabernacle Church. Shout out to Pastor Eddie Adams, my pastor, as well as assistant pastor, Pastor Dennis Eccles, and just the whole church family there. One thing is this, I said I would give a shout out because in the message I said, where I invited you to this, I said that I wanted to give a shout out to my church. It's the best church I've ever been a part of. The best church I've ever been to or gotten to know. I've been to some churches, and from the outside they look great, but I can't say that I know that church, what goes on in there. I don't know the flow of things. I don't know the structure of things. But of the churches I've gotten to know, this is the best church that I've ever been a part of, because one thing I know, and it's coming up soon, February is considered stewardship month at our church. And so my pastor teaches every Wednesday and every Sunday he teaches every Sunday and every Wednesday in February on stewardship. And of course, I talked last night about how a lot of pastors, a lot of leaders from platforms, especially in the church arena, they preach a lot, they fuss a lot, they preach a lot on giving, but they never teach on a lot on giving. Neither do they teach on receiving. And receiving is just as important, because if you don't know how to receive, you won't have anything to give, because you won't be receiving very much. You're not putting that energy into the universe that you appreciate and you know how to receive. I'm not going to backtrack into that, but as I said, a lot of pastors and preachers, I've seen it abused so many times. The desk, the holy desk, the platform, the pulpit abused, because there's a lot of fussing, a lot of preaching, okay, on giving, but not necessarily a lot of teaching, because if you teach, you don't have to shout, you don't have to, you don't have to fuss, you don't have to preach if you truly teach, because people will be running to give. But if you teach on giving, and you also teach on giving and on receiving, okay, the full gamut of that, rather than the one half, which is just giving your money. Or if you do what my church does and you teach on stewardship rather than giving, because stewardship is something totally different. And this is why I want to give a shout out to my church and say that it's one of the best churches I've ever been in, and I love it. Because like I said, Stewardship Month starts in February. Right as the month begins, we do a yearly business meeting where the books are open to the entire congregation. The business is put up on the projector. You receive it, and I wish I had gone into my desk, my bookshelf drawer and gotten the last two from the last 2 years. But they give you a little binder with the information about the church's financials. Okay, every category what they spend money in, where we've grown, because of course, if you're not growing, you're dying. If you're the same place you are last year, if you're the same place you are this year as you were last year this time, then you're not growing, and God is not about that. And so whether it be membership, whether it be financials, and so they show us the books, okay? They show us the books. They show us what each ministry, what is being spent on each ministry, what the people who are staffed in the church, the people that we have to employ in the church. Every ministry that's outreach, every ministry that's missions, anything that has money coming in or going out from that church, they open it up to us. They show us how far we are in the black. Thank God we've never been in the red. Like I said, you should be growing. If you're doing what God has asked you to do, you should be growing. And not only that, this is a part of teaching stewardship, to say you have to keep up. You have to keep your books. Okay, as the word says in Proverbs, that a dream comes to the multitude of business. All right. It also talks about how when a man handles his business affairs, things will be, in order for him. So this is the thing. When you have stewardship versus giving, when you have a leadership and a preacher and a pastor that's talking about stewardship rather than always just giving, and they're teaching on it, okay, you'll see so many people in the church prosper. You'll see not just the pastor, not just the pastor's elite, not just the pastor's clique, but everyone will be prospering. The church as a whole will prosper, and then a lot of individuals will prosper, because you will be teaching. And guess what? This is what I learned from being in a classroom. You can say that you taught, okay? And there is a distinct difference between teaching and preaching. You can say that you taught something, but if nobody learned, you didn't teach. Okay, let me repeat that. You can say that you're teaching something, but if nobody is learning, if your test scores and your results don't show it, then if no one's learning, you didn't teach. You might have preached, you might have entertained, you might have, had your little spiel and felt good about you, doing your own little song and dance. But if nobody's learning, meaning they are gaining the information and applying it, then you are not teaching. Okay, and so my church focuses a lot on stewardship, and what stewardship is not just the giving part, but pretty much how you handle whatever resources come to you, how you use them for yourself, how you use them for others around you, how you use them as it relates to God. And so that's the thing when you teach on stewardship. It's great because they're showing us how business should be handled. And yes, I put that in the message that church is a business. Tell me whether you agree or not. A lot of people frown upon that. And I have some old school people that may, dislike this comment or get angry, but church is a business. It's a nonprofit business. Okay. And I used to teach this in my high school economics class. Nonprofit doesn't mean you don't make profit, because if you're a business and you're not making profit, you're not going to be a business in operation very long. Nonprofit means that your main goal is not to make money, but you will make money. You will profit if you're a business. Okay, you have to. And so the church is a business. A lot of people frown on the word saying that church is a business, or people have become too business-like in church because they think it's all about money. It's not. The definition of business is you solve people's problems, okay, or meet their desires for a profit. And profit does not always mean money. It means that you're better off in the end of the transaction than you were before. So business, if you're meeting people's needs, okay, for a profit. You're meeting people's needs. You are a business. The church is run as a business, and it should be. And the reason a lot of churches fail is because they don't run it as a business, because that old school mindset who wants to frown upon church as a business and doesn't want to look into it that way. Those are the churches that you see that are falling apart financially, that are falling apart in other areas as well, because they don't see church as a business. Church is a business, and you have to deliver to your people. You have to service your clients, okay? And so if you don't see church as a business, that's one of the main problems. It's a non-profit, but nevertheless, it is a business. It's about serving individuals. That's what business is. It's always, whether you run a store, whether you are a stylist or an interior designer, whether you are a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, if you own a business, it's about serving people. And that's why I talked about earlier, last night, we talked about you don't make money. Making money will get you a lot of prison time. Printing money, you don't make money, you earn money. And then tonight, or today's post, I said earning money should be the last thing on your mind. The first thing on your mind should be adding value to the world. When you add value to the world, the money will come. But when you just seek the money, okay, not only will your business be crap, your business relationships will be crap, and your bank account will be crap, because you're just chasing the dollar. You're just pursuing the dollar. And a lot of times people put together anything for that, okay, just to get the dollar. But when you're about adding value to the world, which is going back to the law of giving, when you're about giving, it's no way, okay, you are going to be without financially. It's no way that you're going to be without wealth on the inside as well as the outside, because you're adding. People need stuff, okay? People desire things. And so that's why I give a shout out to my church. I don't know how many churches are like that. If that's your church, please give me a shout out and tell me that's my church. If your church has the business meeting and they open up the books, okay, plain and clear, not only do they just put it on the projector, they give everyone a copy to take home to say, this is how much we're in the black. This is how much we've paid out on the debt. They have the people in the church who are gifted in financials, okay? Brother, let me give a shout out to Brother Nick Nicholson. He's one of the people that comes up and says, hey, guys, this is where we were with the debt payment last year. This is how much we paid off. If we continue at the rate that we're expecting, okay, with your pledges and your tithes and things, this is the date that we, the prospective date that we can get it paid down or paid off. They do the debt, and then they do the rest, the income statement. They do, okay, the expenses and the revenue. The money has come in and the money that's going out in every category of the church, from the nursery and the youth ministry, all the way to the people that they employ, the receptionists, all the way to the people, any musicians or anything that they pay. All of this is broken down for you in black and white. The books are open. Not only does it show you that the church has nothing to hide, but it also shows you that this is what stewardship is about, managing, okay, the church as if it is a business, because it is a business, okay? And so that's why I give a shout out to my church. I give a shout out to my church. I love my church. It shows us about stewardship rather than always harping, okay, spending a lot of time, and we don't do this so much. I don't see a lot of time spent each Sunday or each Wednesday talking about giving, scolding people for not giving, or telling people. There's the month of February, we teach on stewardship, okay? Every now and then the pastor may give a spiel, when it's time to raise offering, something like that, but it's not this continual beating you over the head type of thing. He teaches, he's a teaching pastor, so he teaches a lot, okay? But the month of February is stewardship month. And this is an example of stewardship, letting people know where the money is going, adding value. And guess what? When the church is a business, the church is all about adding value to the world. When you see a church that says, hey, how can we do more? Not how can you give more, but when you see the church saying, we want to do this, we're doing this for the youth, we're doing this for the elderly, we're going to the nursing home, we're going to the mission trips, and domestically, we're going to the mission trips international. You really don't have to ask for money then, because people see where the money is going. They're like, hey, I want to contribute to that. This is where my tithes is going. And so that's when you really study, teach, and live, exemplify stewardship. You really don't have to worry about a lot of lack in the church, okay? Corporately or individually. You don't have to worry about beating people over the head, okay? You have to worry about a lot of the stuff that it seems that ministries worry about, because of the lack of teaching on stewardship and also on the principle of giving and receiving. Let's go back to last night. I said that, and there was a lot of people on here last night, then they got kind of quiet, and some people said, well, we're quiet because, we're captivated. You have us. But I don't know, because I got into a point to say that in the art of giving and receiving, not only do you have to be appreciative and receive, but you also have to know how to receive. And you do not block the person's blessing who is giving to you, because if the word says it is more blessed to give than to receive, it's still blessed to receive, okay? But it's more blessed to be in that position to give. So you want to bless that person who's giving to you. So don't block it by rejecting the gift, but also don't block it by taking it when you know you don't appreciate the gift. You know you can't use it. You know that it's nothing for you. You know that you're going to either throw it away or give it away. And that negative energy, that negative vibe goes into the universe. Okay, that karma, if some of you may say, goes into the universe. And guess what? You still block the person's blessing, okay, that tried to give it to you, rather than communicating with them and saying, hey, this is not for me. Or, you know, even, especially when I start talking about husband and wife in the scenario that I had with my husband and the friend who tried to give me advice about accepting gifts that I don't like, accepting gifts that are not for me, that are not really, probably you didn't put a lot of thought in, or you don't know me as well. Guess what? Okay. When I was in my bed last night and I was trying to go to sleep, when God gave me the part 2 to this one, because last night was so good. And guys, please share this, please like this. Like I said, a lot of people are probably relaxing, but shout out to those people who are here on a Friday night instead of watching TV or unwinding with Facebook to get away from their work week. Shout out to you, because you are elite. You're doing something positive and investing in yourself. Okay, but nevertheless, for those people who are here and the people who will watch later, the people who will join. Okay, last night, so while I was trying to go to sleep, God gave to me and said, what about Cain, Abel, and God? Okay. A lot of people frown upon and say, you don't reject people's gifts. You don't say, no, I'm not. I'm saying don't reject gifts when you know that it's something you can use. For instance, money is always the right shape, the right color. So if someone's trying to bless you and say, hey, thank you for doing this for me. Okay. Wealthy people don't reject it. They take it and say thank you. Okay. All right. And that's how you do it. I told you to practice last night saying thank you. I appreciate it. Even if it's a compliment, don't return the compliment, because they gave you a genuine compliment. Let it land. Don't give it another one in exchange for them. Deflecting the compliment is what you're doing. All right. So, but back to this. By receiving a gift that you know you don't really accept, okay, you're putting that negative energy. A lot of times, like I said, I have no poker face. You can read it on my face, but really you don't have to read it on my face. I tell people a lot of times, don't get that for me. I'm not going to use it. Or it's probably going to be that I'm going to take it back. I just want to let you know that I'm going to take it back and get something that I can use, or bless it somebody else with it. Rich people do this. They say, you know, instead of bringing a gift to my party or to my child's party, bless this particular charity. I will be blessed because I still will receive the blessing. You will receive the blessing. I'll still be satisfied. Okay. I don't need anything but bless this charity. So that is put it, but you're still blessing that person. They still receive it as something that they want, something that they like, something they desire. But Cain and Abel, God rejected a gift. He got on to Cain about giving a salty gift, giving a substandard gift. So why can't we? Even though people say, you know, that's wrong, that's how you mess. But like I said, I would not take marriage advice from this girl who was unhappily married on her second or third marriage. Like I said, I can learn from any situation. Okay, from my own insight and watching you, but giving advice to me when you're not in the position to give that, I'm not going to receive it. So she's saying you should have accepted the gift and acted as though you like it, and you know, put the bracelet on. But she said, I could tell you didn't like it because I could see it in your face. All right, and your husband, well, he wasn't my husband at the time. He probably could too. But guess what? Because of that, I don't have a collection of gifts that I don't like. I don't have that sour feeling around the time when I receive gifts because I know it's something I don't like. It causes the other person to step up their game, to either learn more about you, to communicate better with you, or something along those lines, rather than just giving you something and expecting you to be happy with it. God said, no, this gift is substandard. This offering you're giving me, Cain, is ridiculous, okay? Hey, I know it's not your best. I know this is really, God says, hey, I'm above that. That's not for me. All right. Hey guys, don't just receive stuff because people feel like they want to pawn it off on you, because people will re-gift stuff. It's okay to re-gift if you know this person can truly use this and they truly want it, they truly like it. They've been eyeing it or saying something like that. But when you just want to get rid of something and pawn something off on somebody and people can tell you didn't put any thought into it, that is a bad way of giving. And if you accept it, okay, and act as though everything is okay, that's a bad way of receiving. So no one gets blessed. Okay. So listen. That was a perfect biblical example. If you believe in the Bible, everybody doesn't believe in the Bible, but some people just look at it as, you know, stories or fables that you can learn from. Even if you see it as that rather than God's holy word, which is how I see it. It's a fable that says, God says, hey, that is substandard. That is not for me. Okay. If you tell somebody, hey, I don't wear imitation jewelry, okay, or whatever, okay, you can say it's being high-minded, sedity, whatever, but it's the law of giving and receiving. Receiving is just as important a principle. Okay. Yes, it is more blessed to be in a position to give, not just to give, but if you read that properly, as we said, to be in a position to give. Yes, I want to be the person signing, okay, the $10,000 or $100,000, $1 million checks, because that means I'm making 10 times that. If I'm signing LeBron's check, that means I'm the owner of the team. So guys, I'm making way more than Bronzy. Okay, Bronny. So listen, giving and receiving. This so we're talking about the art of giving and receiving. How, if you learn this law, this principle, and you live it, you will never lack. Not only lack, you will always have more than enough wealth, resources, time, everything like that. Okay. So when we say to whom much is given, much is required, right? So going back to that thing of how much my church lays out the books, okay? They say that I'm handling not only people's money, but lives. The money goes to the church to serve people, to have a building where people can come, to have outreach where we can go out to people. And so to whom much is given, much is required. It's just like a corporation. They sit down and they have to, guess what? I trade stocks, I trade stock options. So at any given time, I can look up a company, go online and see their financials, see whether they're in the red or the black, see what their earnings were for this quarter. Did they beat their expected earnings, or did they fall shy? How much dividends they're paying to their shareholders, how much debt they have, how much credit they have, or how outstanding accounts they have, pretty much what their sales are projected for the next year. All this kind of stuff is open book, okay? This is open book because it's your money. All right. And so the same thing, I feel the church should be the same way. If you don't have anything to hide and you're actually focusing on stewardship rather than one half of the equation, one half of the scripture, which is always talking about giving. Okay. Stewardship is about giving and receiving. And so that's just one thing. Listen, I told you that you could be cursing yourself if you're giving money to the poor. If you're giving money, and the poor is not just the person on the street who's begging, okay? But I think I did use the word if you're giving money to the beggar on the street, or if you're giving money to the poor, okay? Because guess what? A lot of times if you're poor monetarily, that means you're poor in other areas. Remember, your roots create your fruits. The inside of you is reflected on the outside of you. Your life right now is a reflection of your thoughts, okay? Of your beliefs, okay? Of your hopes, your aspirations. So if you are poor, if you are struggling on the outside, that's just a reflection of what's going on the inside of you. The roots create the fruits, okay? And so a lot of times when people are poor in spirit, okay, poor in knowledge and wisdom, poor in the principles, the laws of God, just like this is a law, principle of God, sowing and reaping, or giving and receiving. The law of seed time and harvest, okay? The law of increasing in returns. All those are spiritual laws of money, okay? Spiritual laws of wealth. And so if you don't know those, then of course, more than likely, you're going to be poor financially, poor resource-wise, poor maybe in your health, poor in the external factors because you're poor in the internal factor. And so a lot of times when you give, and I went over this when I did the little, when I did the live post on don't curse yourself, by giving Christmas gifts. When you give to people, or cast your pearls before swine, give that which is holy unto the dogs. When you give money to people who are not ready for it because they're not spiritually ready for it, either they have habits, or either they don't know how to manage money, or either I heard one of my mentors say this, or that wasn't a mentor. He was actually teaching under my mentor. And I was in a course he was teaching. He said, when you give money to that man on the street, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to make his life any better. It doesn't guarantee that he's going to get up and do anything. Only thing it guarantees is that he's going to be in that spot the same time. He's going to be in that same spot tomorrow or somewhere else begging for money, because he knows it'll work. He knows it'll produce. And so I have no problem blessing people. I have no problem when I see people say, hey, you want some money? Follow me over here to this restaurant. I'll buy you something to eat, or I'll do this, or I have an odd job. Can you do this for me? I have no problem doing that. And as God leads me and as I see things, I have no problem, like you said, going to a restaurant and the meal is $5 and you leave a $50 tip or $100 tip. Okay. So there's no problem doing that when I choose to do it. But when people are asking you for things and they're asking you for fish rather than, and the same person, you say, hey, you can't have my fish, but I'm going to take you over here and show you how to catch some fish. They walk away. They don't want to do it. Now, you're showing that you are not a good steward. That goes back to stewardship. You think surfacely, okay, or in your mind, a lot of times you don't know, but you don't think that, but it just lessens the guilt, okay, for you being successful or you having money or something like that. So you feel like if I give, this $2 or this $5 or this change to this person begging on the street, or to this person in my family who's doing less than, or this and that you're blessing, but really not only you're cursing them, you're cursing the situation, you're cursing yourself, because you're casting that which is holy into the dogs. People who have no concern about doing better financially, okay? As I heard a leader say, say, if I give you this money right now, it was a thing. Now this is at my old church, okay, the church I grew up in. We were asking the meeting to say, okay, everybody who comes to the church for money, you can't necessarily give it to them. Give it to them. You have to take them through a process, because if you say, you have to go through questions and say, listen, if I pay this rent for you, how are you going to pay it next month? How are you? Because if you can't pay it the next 2 months or whatever, then my money is going to be wasted, because even though you're going to have someone to stay now, but next month you'll be out anyway. So you got to have a plan, or how much are you willing to put in? Okay, that goes back to skin in the game. When you have a down payment on a car, they want to know you have some skin in the game. Or when I give away free courses, but you still have to pay for your food. I'm giving you $5,000 tuition free, but you got to pay $120 for your food. I need you to have some skin in the game, because if not, you may not show up. That's a spot I could have sold to somebody at regular price, or you might not put all you have to put in there. So you have to have some skin in the game, okay? Which is why I don't teach courses for free. I teach you at the value, because I know I'm going to over deliver in the value, okay? I know what it costs, the information in here. I know the information costs. I know what it takes for me to put on a program. I know what it takes for me to stay. So that's one of the reasons, but also because if I'm adding value, okay, by teaching you something, I also have to add value to your life by giving you the opportunity to make something happen when you want to get to a certain place. So say if I need to come up with this money, I'm truly dedicated. That's going to test your dedication, okay? Your promise and your commitment to yourself to say, if I really want to be a part of this course, she's not giving it to me for free. I got to come up with this money. And not only that, I told you the story of how I put $6,000 on a credit card, and it motivated me to get my butt to work, applying the principles rather than being fearful and being stagnant and procrastinating. I knew I wanted to pay that card right back off and start making money, and it happened for me. So a lot of times when I'm part of me adding value to the world, because I know the psychology of success, I studied a lot. I studied with a lot of very successful people. I studied literature, and just by hard cold experience, I want to add value to your life by giving you that experience, okay? And so people say, it's very wrong if you say a person's in need and, you don't want to give them money. But the Bible says that when we talk about the parable of the talents, okay, and people say, oh, that was so wrong that the one who had it, he gave him more money. The one who didn't have, he didn't give him anything. He took it away from him. How? That's so mean. It's like the poor getting poor, because if you don't have any money and you've had it, okay, you've had the opportunity to have some, it shows me you're not ready for money. Just like the universe, God says, if you can't receive and you can't manage it once you receive it, okay, the law of giving and receiving together, you're not ready for it. So you can say you are, but that's why you earn what you earn, okay? That's why you can't get ahead. That's why, you cannot get to another level of earning, because you're not ready for it. You've already shown with the money. Remember, I told you there are 3 types of people. Money comes either to your hands, through your hands, or it runs away from your hands. And your stewardship shows the universe, shows God what kind of person you are, whether he should allow money to flow to you, through you, or away from you, okay? And so it's a wonderful thing when you say, I won't give my money. I'm not going to deal with people who don't have money. I'm not going to, and say, well, how will that person get better? Because you have to start somewhere and learn the spiritual laws and principles of money so that you have money. Because if you knew them, you probably wouldn't be in the predicament that you are in. Like I said, it hurt and it stung for a guy to sit in front of me and say, if you don't have $5,000, okay, and you were sitting in this room and you've been working so many years of your life, there's a problem. And that's the main reason you need to sign up for my course. And no, I'm not going to discount it. No, I'm going to give it for free. And guess what? It made a difference to me. I accepted that. I received it. It hurt, and it hurt so bad because there are only 2 motivators in life, pain and pleasure. It hurt so bad till I got something done, okay? I wasn't struggling to the point. I was still living on what they call broke rich, okay, hood rich, having a lot of clothing and, things, and on the surface looking like you were well off, but just one paycheck away from being destitute, okay, hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck. Thank God I'm not there anymore, okay? And that's why I do a lot of what I do to help people get rid of that type of thing, okay? And not even that anymore. I'm not paycheck to paycheck, but I'm not paycheck. I sign my own checks, thank God. So that's the kind of stuff I want to teach you when I have these seminars, free as well as tuition seminars. And so going back to the law of giving and receiving, all right, it's a law of God to say I'm going to give to who already has. You might think it's selfish. You might think that's rich and snooty. That's why the rich keep getting rich and the poor keep being poor. That's exactly right. Because the poor, if they learned to manage the few nickels that they have, then of course money will be attracted to them. The universe will agree with them and say, hey, you're ready for more. But because we give to people who don't need it, who have holes in their pocket, and it's our money going through those holes, or excuse me, not my money, but it's your money going through those holes, and you think you're blessing them, but you're really enabling them and cursing them, and also cursing yourself because you're giving what God has blessed you with over to someone who does not appreciate it. So that goes back to stewardship, teaching on whatever you have. When you give, it's the right way to give it. Also, when you receive, there's a right way to receive it. We think just giving, okay, you just give. You give the preacher your last, that's good. No, like I said last time, when you give your last, your seed, that could be your Mary Kay batch that you spend your last money on to get you started as an entrepreneur, or it could be this course that you need to take, or going back to school. It doesn't mean always you're giving to a storehouse where everyone is already wealthy there and you already have plenty of money flowing through the church, but that's the lack of sound teaching as it relates to the law of giving and receiving. When the preacher says, just bring your last up here, bring your last out here and trust God. Okay. Using common sense, using the Spirit of God will a lot of times tell you your last just might be a seeding into something that will get you to the next level, that will cause you, spending your last money on that piece of equipment, to get you started, or that mentorship, doing that kind of stuff. That's law, because you have to give in order to receive. I told you to want something for nothing. Okay, that's the welfare principle. That's the enemy. Anytime you want to get something for nothing, get rich quick and that kind of stuff, that's a way to just get scammed out of your money, because it's only a certain type of person who wants something for nothing, and that's the person that the enemy, or that person, those people who are making money off that, they prey on that type of person. Excuse me. While I'm taking a water break, please share this, okay? Thanks for everybody who's coming out. A lot of people, I guess, are unwinding because there's usually a lot of people on here, but it's fine because who is supposed to be here will be here, and people go back later. I know people are probably, like I said, decompressing from their week because they have work weeks, thank God, and I have work week, but hey, that's a different story. All right, so teaching on stewardship, teaching on the art and the law of receiving and giving actually sets anybody, and I don't mean anybody of people, whether it's a church, whether it's a family, whether it's a workplace. When you talk about giving and receiving, not always monetary, but just giving of yourself, that's how you add value to the world. I asked this question in the post that invited you here. I said, why does LeBron James and Kobe Bryant used to be, I think he's retired now, and Tom Brady and OBJ and all these guys, and Lil Wayne, all these kind of people, and the dope guy around the corner from your school or church or whatever, why do they make so much more money than you or the average Joe? Okay, it's because they add value to the world. Okay, what kind of value? Is it true value? Is it good value? No, but they feel a need. I told you, business is solving a problem or a need, meeting a desire for a profit. Okay, and so the value that most people in our country, in our world places, is on feeling good, not doing good necessarily, but feeling good. Okay, medicating their feelings, watching a whole bunch of celebrity reality TV that's not really reality. We talked about that before. Staying on Facebook and Instagram, watching other people's lives, or faking their own lives by putting stuff up there. Okay, buying a lot of stuff that they can't afford. Getting to this state where this state of mindlessness, where they're smoking or drinking or popping pills, or they're at on TV watching somebody slam dunk, and they're just raved up. They have a team that they represent, and they're talking about their team is winning, but in reality, that's their only associations to winning, because in their real life, they're not winning. So they spaz out on sports, that they're so such a fanatic of this team that they go to these live events and pay hundreds of dollars, and it's fine because I love live events, I love live entertainment, but thinking back to how far back is it setting you to spend this time, waste this time and money watching television and on social media, waste this time and money going to stuff when you know you need to be settling things at home. That's the world we live in. That's what people place value on, because the more value you add to the world, the more money you will earn. Not make, because he said you can't make money. Okay, making money, that's the Bureau of Printing and Engraving, or the Mint. If you're making money, you're going to jail. It's called counterfeiting, people. Okay, but earning money, you earn money by adding value to the world. As the Bible says, a man is worthy of his hire. A man's gift will make room for him and bring him before great men. All this type of stuff is about you adding value to the world. Okay, Demand creates supply, supply creates demand, right? When people want what you have, they will find a way to your door, okay? Or you can reach out to them, and because they want what you have, they'll gladly, okay, compensate you for that. And so adding value to the world, these people, okay, I remember the quote from New Jack City when that movie first came out, okay? It talked about how in the crack epidemic, right? And so Wesley Snipes, I think he said, he had a little vial. He said, this is going to make us rich. And he said, you know what? Times are hard. The economy's down. Okay, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't know if he said economy, but he said times are hard. People want to get real high real quick. Okay, and this is going to do it for us. Okay, people add value to what they want. So now a lot of people don't want reality. Okay, they want a quick fix. Okay. Unless, of course, if you know how to teach and show, okay. Remember I told you, it's only two main emotions that drive people, pain or pleasure. Either there is a pull factor, something great that you want, something positive, and a pleasure that's pulling you towards it that makes you go and get it, or it's a pain, something behind you, pushing you, okay? Pain or pleasure. And for most people, they respond more to pain, okay? They respond more to pain, and the reason they're still stuck in the rut because the pain is not as great as it should be yet. They're comfortable. The pain is just enough to whine about their job, okay, or to, complain and say, thank God it's Friday, or about this person, but they're not willing to step up and go ahead and do something about it. So they stay stuck in that rut, that 9 to 5 that I hate, stuck in that relationship that I hate because it's comfortable. As you say, the devil is better than the one you don't know, so you don't want to go and see. And it's so common, and people are so happy and so complacent and so comfortable being being uncomfortable. As I said, they're not uncomfortable enough to go and do it. But when you add value to the world, okay, you will always have more than enough money, resources, time, because guess what? Your gift is going to make room for you. You can you can create your own life. You can set your own stage. Because let me give you another example. Mark Zuckerberg, right? The guy who founded Facebook. Bill Gates, the Microsoft, which is pretty much why you're probably right now on a phone listening to me, okay? Or on a computer, laptop somewhere, all right? Both of them are billionaires right now, okay? Warren Buffett, stock and options guy, my man, okay? One of my mentors studied under him, all right? But all three are billionaires. We're talking about that, okay? Madam C.J. Walker, millionaire, okay? She was a millionaire. These people never sought out to say, I want to make or earn more money. They were not chasing or pursuing money. What they were trying to do is solve a problem. Levi Strauss, okay? The guy who went searching for gold in the gold rush. He was too late on the gold, but then he was thinking, probably in his thinking and praying time. We talked about that, okay? He was thinking and said, hey, these guys are out here. Their pants are wearing thin too quick while they're out here searching for gold. They need some dungarees. They need some strong pants, okay? Multi-million-dollar industry right now, okay? Levi's, Gatorade. The coach who came up with Gatorade for the Florida Gators, he wasn't saying, oh, man, I guess got to make some more money, okay? He was doing what he was loving what he's doing, and just saying, hey, these guys are being depleted too much. We got to come up with something. Came up with Gatorade. Now, okay, guess what? When you're sick, when your kids are playing sports, what you reach for? Reach for your Gatorade. This is water. Reach for your Gatorade. It's not because these people were seeking to earn more money. They were seeking to add value to the world, to solve problems. When you do that, guys, I'm giving you this. This is the law of giving and receiving. When you're always thinking about giving back, not the money. I got to make more money. How do I solve this problem at work? How do I solve this problem with my business? This problem of people looking or feeling a certain way or wanting to feel a certain way. That's how you become very wealthy, on the inside first, and then on the outside where you see the money, you see the time freedom, okay? You see the job freedom. You do what you love what you do, you get paid very handsomely to do it. It's a beautiful thing by adding value to the world. And so you say, well, how are you adding value? Not only am I a success and achievement trainer, I show people how to get past this mindset of this comfortable state that has them stuck. They're living the 70-year plan, working the best years of their life and hoping that the money they have in their retirement plus Social Security will be okay for them to get by on the last few years of their life when you're not working anymore, but now you have to live a substandard life when really you're supposed to be living up this time. But also 70 years is a long time to wait to do that when there's so much wealth around us that it's ridiculous. You could be doing it today. You could have time, money, and job freedom right now. And also on top of that, adding great value to the world. Doing what you love so much that people are like, oh man, he is the freaking greatest at that. She is the freaking greatest. When you do what you love, you're going to be excellent at it. Okay, it's going to flow because God blessed you, and it also is going to be much better because you're going to study to get better because you already love to do it. I know from experience, guys. That's the law of giving and receiving. Giving more of yourself. You don't mind giving and going the extra mile when you already love it. Okay, when you already love it. Like I said, when I told you I went to school and taught on 2 or 3 hours of sleep, or didn't sleep at all because I had been in a conference training working on personal and business development for the whole week. Drove home or flew home. Got home at 3 a.m., went to teach at school at 6 a.m. because I'm getting there way before everybody to settle my space and, prepare for the day. And guess what? I love it. We'll do it again in a minute. Okay. But that's the law of giving and receiving. The more you give, okay, the more you're going to receive. The more you give of yourself to make yourself better rather than being, guess what? I heard somebody say this. I heard several of my mentors and the people that they study under say this. Okay. He said, novice are people who dabble in stuff. They might get paid, okay? But experts get rich. They get wealthy. When you spend so much time bettering yourself in whatever your calling is, whatever your gifting is, whether you are some kind of cosmetologist, whether you are a nurse or in the medical field, whether you are a writer, when you spend so much time work, or they said working, when you work more on yourself than you do on your job, and I'm not saying slack on your job, I'm saying you make yourself better for the job. Okay, that's what I'm saying. When you work more on your personal development than you work on just trying to get the job done, okay, wealth is going to beat its path to your door. You will have so many opportunities, and trust me, I know it. When you love what you do, you're going to want to get better and better at it. You don't want to spend more time doing it. All right. So, going back to the church as a business. Yes, the church is a business. And what is our business? I told you a business is just offering a service, a solution to a problem, a desire at a profit. Okay. At church, you're selling the gospel. Not for money, but every day, every person you know, you and every person you know is in sales and marketing. You're trying to convince somebody of something, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your students if you're in a classroom, whether it's your members if you're a church leader, whether it's your friends, whether you're selling something for your company. We're all in sales and marketing, okay? You're trying to sell yourself. Sales is just trying to persuade somebody in a particular direction. So we're always trying to sell and say, hey, this is the best way for you at the church. This is what God wants for you. And we have to be wise. The Bible says he who wins souls is wise. You have to have resources to do that. Okay, a hungry person doesn't necessarily want to hear, or they can't hear you because the stomach is growling. So sometimes you have to go out and feed physical so that you can feed spiritual. And so, yes, I'm not talking about the beggar. I'm talking about the person that you go and approach to in the neighborhood where you know they're struggling and you know this, and you give them that opportunity to be fed physically, and then they open up to you to feed them spiritually. That's wisdom. That's stewardship. Giving more, and you're going to receive. The church is going to grow, because if it's not growing, it's dying. It's only one alternative. If you're not growing, you're dying. And so the church is a business. Okay, the church is embodying what I said last night, that I'm never a salesperson. I'm serving. When you focus on serving, not selling, you don't have to sell, because the sales will come to you. All right. Same thing. If the church is saying we have to find a way to serve others, we got to get out there and do this. When there's a need, we got to get out there, even if it's not an apparent need, like a natural disaster or a cold season where people need blankets and things like that. But we have to go and find needs, even when it's not, the needs are not being broadcasted, because a lot of things happen during Christmas or natural disasters, and then they're forgotten the rest of the year. Like I told you, we're going to be doing VIP. I'm going to be doing the VIP Angel Tree, and I'm sure my church will partner with me. I have to get it approved by my pastor and such, but the VIP Angel Tree is the church, the organization that provides presents to the children of incarcerated parents. And like I said, when I was younger, I benefited from this. And so I feel burdened to go, I feel blessed to go and do that. All right. But I also want to make it VIP, because there are other seasons besides Christmas. Okay. There's back to school time. There's summer time where they need to be in summer programs, or they need to go somewhere and unwind, go to vacation because they've never been. There are 4 seasons in a year. Christmas is just in the winter season. That's part of it. But going the extra mile, giving, when you plant seeds like that, you will always be blessed. That's the art of giving and receiving. Okay, much is giving, much is required of us. All right, and so the church Those are organizations. Those are mechanisms that do that. And it is a business. You're trying to sell your product, which is the gospel. And no, I'm not saying it as in you're selling it for a price. You're trying to sell it, meaning getting people to buy into it. So you must know, okay, in your mind, if you don't know it, and now you know. But if you're one of those old school people and you just fail to, and it just irks you to see the church as a business, I encourage you to ask God to open your mind, because it is. It's a nonprofit business. It's a nonprofit organization. And nonprofit organizations are a classification of a business. Okay, not meaning that they don't profit. Because if you're not profiting, like I said, you're not going to be business long. The difference between a nonprofit business and a profit business is not that they don't make profit. They have to. It's that they're not in it to make profit. That's not their main aim or goal. Their main aim or goal is to serve people, and the profit comes as a bonus. Okay, if you're doing business right. But if you're not teaching stewardship, okay, in your organization, whether it's a church, whether it's a business that you run, whether it's a club that you're a part of, if you're not teaching it stewardship of knowing the art of giving and receiving our resources to be good stewards, then of course you're going to have a lot of problems as it relates to having enough, okay, as well as so many other things related to finances and resources. All right. What is it? Okay, so socioeconomic versus economic status. Okay, economics is pretty much what you have, your resources. Socioeconomic is what you think about, how you think about money. Okay, so socioeconomic status usually is not the economic status that separates the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots. It's the socioeconomic status, your values around money, your knowledge about money. And that's how, like you said, you can give a person that's poor, that was brought up in a poor household, a poor culture, a poor family, a poor neighborhood. You can give them money through winning the lottery or getting a scholarship or making it big to the NBA or signing a singing contract, and they'll be back broke, okay, in less than 2 years because they don't have the mentality. And so in a church, when you teach stewardship, okay, versus all the time just hammering, giving, I want your money, you're wrong if you don't give money, you should be ashamed of yourself if you don't give money, this is ridiculous. But if you teach them really the true art of giving and receiving, which is stewardship. Shout out to my church. We're getting ready to go into stewardship. Well, we're in stewardship month. It's February, okay? The month of February, okay? And they have people, okay, that come in and say, shout out, I see Nick Nickerson on here, I gave him a shout out earlier, that come in and say, listen, my gifting, and guess what? Your gifting, what you're born to do, a lot of times, you do it for a living, but you also can do it in the church. Because like I said, guys like Nick will get up and say, hey, this is where the debt campaign is. Okay. From last year to this year, this is where we're going. Not only that, but all the other books are open because everyone has a chance to see how business is handled. So you can take that back to your own life, your own business, but also know that your church is handling business, and it's something that will motivate you to give more. It'll motivate you to give more of your time, more of your resources, more of your money, because you said this church is going somewhere. It's adding value to the world. I want to be a part of that. I want to plant some of those seeds, because just imagine when you empower people financially by teaching and exemplifying stewardship, the art, the law of giving and receiving. Guys, please share this. Please like this. Let me know you're out there. I see people joining. I see people leaving. Give a shout out to those people. I see some people who are registered for my class. Some people attended the free seminar. Some people who are in church with me. Hey, listen. Okay, when you actually teach people the art of giving and receiving, and then you see the results of your church membership, okay, of your family, because they're better off because you taught them, because you lived it, and now they have more resources, they give more, they know how to receive, they know how to give, they know how to listen, and you just see all this flourishing, and then they touch other people and it flourishes, and you are able to go out into communities, and all this kind of stuff I see in my church. And guess what? All that stuff is trickling back down to the person who's teaching. All that person is trickling back down to the person who's exemplifying. Whether you're just a parishioner in that church that's applying the principles and giving your tithes bringing your tithes and giving your offerings and that kind of thing. All right. Or if you're the head leader that's up there teaching classes, every person that is blessed in a trickle down effect, every person that receives a gift, every child that receives school supplies, all these are seeds that you're planting. And that's how you will never, ever lack, because remember I told you what the scripture says, when you give to the poor, you lend to the Lord. I don't know about you, but lending means I get interest back. Okay. And so that's how you will always have more than enough when you know the law of giving and receiving. Okay. Like I said, seeking to add. You wonder why you make the wages you make. You make a wages instead of a salary. You make a salary instead of pretty much you write your own, instead of writing your own check and telling people what your services are worth. And I talked about that before, not being afraid to know your value. And if people don't want it and they want to do you down, you say, hey, it's not that I'm too high, it's that you can't afford me. Okay. You go, you get what you pay for. You can go and find something of lesser value. And then when you find out that I'm the real deal and you want to come back, okay, it's possible that my prices will have elevated because I'm continuously adding value. Okay. Don't apologize. I heard Les Brown say this, great motivational speaker. This guy's great. Has an awesome story if you never heard of Les Brown. Okay. But he says, it's not that I'm too high. It's that you can't afford me. Everything is not for everybody. Okay. You don't go to the Lamborghini dealership and try to pay Mercedes-Benz money. Okay. Or try to bring Honda money. Okay. To the Land Rover or the Range Rover dealership. You don't. Now, there is the art of negotiation. I teach that in my classes, how to never pay full price when it's negotiable, okay? But when a person says, this is my bottom line, I know what this is worth. I know what value it's going to add to you. Not necessarily my expenses. I'm talking about I know what value this is worth to you, okay? My class, I know it's worth way over $5,000. That's the highest I've ever charged for it. But for different reasons, I offer it for lower, okay? But there are times that I absolutely know that I'm saving you, okay? There are times that I have lost, 12, 15 grand in the stock market, okay? The time I lost 25, 30 grand in the stock market, yes. Okay, I can teach you how not to do that. That was when I tried to do it on my own, when I did it with the lack of teaching, without mentors, without the proper education, without the proper mindset to get away from fear and greed. Okay, and I can teach you how to avoid that, how to not get crushed so bad that you never want to go in and you miss out on this good money. You miss out on this time freedom where you can do what people have been doing for centuries with your money. Okay, but I can add that value to you. And so people are like, yeah, where do I sign up? And then you have some people like, oh, it's too much, or it's too much time, market. And guess what? If you're not willing to give, you're not going to receive it. It's not for everybody's not there. Everybody doesn't have that mindset where they're ready to receive. And so they're not ready to give. They go hand in hand, the law of giving and receiving. I know how to receive. I know how, as I said with Cain and Abel, how God rejected the gift. God is in me, okay? That's why I'm so freaking awesome, because God is absolutely amazing, and God in me makes me freaking awesome, okay? And so I can reject the gift and say, no, that's not for me. Can I choose to bless people? And yes, I have. I've given away several classes. I may get one on here tonight, okay? Even registration's closed down though, but I don't know, okay? I've already did one for the Father, one for the Son, one for the Holy Spirit. So hey, but I did mention the giveaway. So there's one or two things I might give away. But hey, I know how to give value, to bless people, to, like I said, go and pay for somebody's food or go and pay somebody's bills. I know how to do that, no problem, okay? But for you to come to me, okay, and discount my services, no way. I'm like God, say, hey, Cain, you know better than this. This is not for me. I'm God, baby. This offering here, not for me. You better take that back to somebody who will accept that mess, not me, okay? Not me. And so it's okay to reject gifts, but it's also okay to receive when it is truly a blessing to you. It's something you can use, okay? Wealthy people don't turn down gifts that they can use. For one thing, money. If you say, hey, I just want to bless you, you hosted the party, I just want to bless you. Okay, thank you, okay? It's the poor mindset. No, just go ahead. Poor mindset that won't even take a compliment. And God says, okay, lesson learned. You don't know how to receive, okay? But back to that. That's why those of us who know better have to do better and show better, okay? Show that this is just as important to teach on how to receive as it is to give, and not just preaching on giving, okay? Telling people that they should and beating over the head, but showing them why they should, okay? Helping them to understand the law of reciprocity, how it's always going to come back when you give of yourself to be better, to add more value to the world. Guess what? When you work on yourself, you're making yourself better, but you're also it's 2 for 1. It's a win-win situation. You're going to seminars, you're going to classes, you're reading, you're listening to audio books, you're getting under mentorship, you're getting under coaches, you're doing all this kind of stuff. When you, like I said, you see pastors and leaders who are always doing things to better themselves. They're always going to places where they can network. They're always going to, courses and things to develop themselves. And those are the people always adding value. They may even have their own other enterprises outside of the church, or they just have countless seeds, plant countless seeds, and then you have the others who pretty much don't do very much, but beat the people over the head for money. Okay, give. No, teach me about receiving as well. Teach me about stewardship. Teach me rather than preaching to me all the time. Okay, as Pastor Dennis said, preaching assumes that you know. Teaching assumes that you don't know. Okay, a lot of people don't even know how to give, how to receive, why to give, why to receive. And you say that stuff should be common sense. It's not. It's a law and principle of wealth. And we told you that, I tell you all the time, wealth and success principles are simple but not easy. Simple meaning it's straight to the point stuff, but A, a lot of people don't know it, or B, they know it and they don't know how to condition themselves to make themselves do it. Okay, and that's where I come in. That's where leaders come in. That's where people who know how to get people to learn this. All right. What's the highest paid? Somebody type it on here. Tell me. Let me know. What's the high? If you've been in my seminars, you might already know. What is the highest paid work or skill, okay, in the world? The highest paid. If you learn this, you will be extremely wealthy on the inside and outside. I'm gonna see if anybody remembers this. I see a couple people on here from my seminars. Okay, what is the highest paid work, area of work, or skill? Same thing. Okay, in the world. Somebody tell me. Write it on. Just put it on here. What is the highest paid? Okay. And we're still talking about the law of giving and receiving, adding value to the world. You will never have to beg. You will never have to beat. You will never have to borrow people or beg or, bother people for money if you understand the law of giving and receiving. Giving, adding value to the world will always not only make your life beautiful, but it'll make your bank book beautiful as well. So nobody answered. Okay. Let me tell you what the highest paid work or skill in the world is. Thinking. Okay. Thinking. Our minds is what separates us from the other animals in the world. Thinking. Okay. When you think of a way to solve a problem that many people have, okay. Like I said, drugs, so many people want to get away from their lives. Okay. And so that's why the drug dealers has a lot of money. That's why reality stars make a lot of money, to entertain you out of your real life. Okay. But thinking is the highest paid profession in the world. And a lot of people don't do it. Our minds are so tied up with so much other stuff. We don't do it. Thinking. Bill Gates, he said, hey, people are carrying around these big CDs and, big cases of CDs. They got to switch the CDs in and out. And if they want to go on a plane, they got to bring all these CDs. He said, hey, what about if I find a way for people to put all their songs, all their music in this little pocket-sized gadget called what? iPod. Okay. Multimillionaire, guys. Multimillionaire. And of course, he invented the computer software, but the iPod is a big hit. Started it all. Okay. The Facebook guy. What if I can find a way for people to be connected with the people they love, people they haven't seen, people, just a way to stay connected all over the world? And it doesn't cost you a lot of money. It doesn't really cost you anything. You just got to have this device. He's a billionaire. All right. And I'm sorry, Bill Gates is a billionaire. I don't know if I said multimillionaire. Okay. Finding a way to solve people's problems. That's what the church is. Finding a way to serve people. It's a business. But if you teach the business aspect of it, which is really a spiritual law and principle of wealth, the art of giving and receiving. I want to make sure I hit everything. I think I've hit everything. And that's by the time we're about at the 1 hour mark. I thought this was going to be really, short tonight. But like I said, hopefully it's not a part 3. Well, I'm not going to say hopefully, but hopefully I can get some rest tonight. So I'm going to be a part 3 of this. But like I said, this came last night after I closed out the last session. All right. So guys, I'm getting ready to get out here. Should I give away something? There's not a lot of people really responding, so I guess this might not be the group. I was maybe going to give away another class, another tuition to the class next week, the 10th to the 12th, where you learn how to do what I do, how I replace my working income and retire at the age of 35. I also have a mentor group that's starting. It's already started because of demand, because of the value that I was adding to people's lives just by doing these free Facebook Lives, doing free courses, and just people seeing the difference that I made and the things that I've done. People, want to join the mentorship. And it's going to be very, very, very low cost investment, because it's group. We can do it on the computer. We can do it together. So I know how to add value. I don't have to pay any overhead for a meeting spot. We may meet sometimes, but you can do that, for little or nothing. Okay. Or little or nothing. So I'm going to be doing that. So how about that? Anybody want me to give away something, either a class or a membership, a couple months free to the mentorship? Let me know. Put it on here if you want me to do it, because it's going to be a monthly thing, but I'm teaching you how to grow your business, how I took my business and grew it over 900%, I think. Yeah, about a year ago. My business of traveling and speaking, my authorship, business speaking, seminars and things that I do off my books and everything like that, as well as just how to monetize your passion. Write your own paycheck in this volatile world where you could be downsized tomorrow, even if you're a public servant, like a teacher or something, okay? Or you could be forced into some things that you don't desire to do, okay? That's not my case at all. I'm just saying I needed more time, freedom. I love what I do. I loved it as a classroom teacher. But, hey, so I guess, it's really no time for giveaways right here, because no one is really responding. So I don't know if people have checked out or whatever, but that's the thing. So I guess they'll all give it and receive it. There's nobody there to receive it, so I won't be giving away anything. So maybe this is one of my last Facebook Lives, because like I said, I will be doing an exclusive closed group mentorship. And it's not that I just want you to join that, because it's not for everybody. All right. But it's just that I won't have the time, being that a lot of the live seminars and classes I'm teaching, as well as this mentorship, which will be online, I won't have the time, freedom, which is why I love my job, and find a way to replace my income. I don't want to tie that time back up away from my family and other things. So I'm not saying this is the last one, but it will be one of the last ones. Thank you. Please like and share. Please go back and read back over, or study back over this if you need to. If you want to ask me a question, you know how to get me on Facebook. Have a great night, an awesome weekend. And some people, it's already the weekend for you. Okay. It's always the weekend for you, like me. Thank God. Thank God it's Tuesday, not Friday, whatever day it is. But I might do 1 or 2 more Facebook Lives. I don't know. This could be the last one. But guys, have a wonderful night, an excellent life, and see you at the top.